Good morning and be very welcome to today's edition of Mexico News Network's Daily Report. My name is Sofia Rattinger and we are broadcasting from El Dorado Royal Spa Resort by Charisma. We have a lot of new information, but before we start, don't forget to visit our website www.mexiconewsnetwork.com to keep you informed, and also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Google+. Now, let's begin with information. Many Mexicans have emigrated to the United States and elsewhere, and as a result have distanced themselves from the traditions and history that their country of origin has to share. With this in mind, the Mexico City government decided to create Mis Raíces, a program intended aimed at the 33.5 million Mexican Americans living in the United States to rediscover the charms that Mexico City has to offer and get back in touch with their heritage. Mis Raíces works closely with U.S. tour operators, Mexican Chamber of Commerce, and Mexican consulates in the United States to invite everyone to learn about Mexico's traditions and cultural values. During an interview with the LA Times, Miguel Ángel Torruco, Mexico City Secretary of Tourism, stated that the program's priorities are to change Mexico City's image as a place that only receives business visitors to one that receives more tourists. Torruco also explained that prior to the launch of the program, 70% of visitors to Mexico City were there for business, while 30% were there for tourism. Recently, they have managed to turn these figures into 60% tourism and 40% business travel. It is hoped that the campaign will have an overall impact on the flow of American tourists to Mexico City, a group that has shown a 10% increase in visits to the city in recent years. In other news, deep in the Mexican territory, you will find several caves and cavern systems that are holding pieces of history and want to tell their stories through nature. Almost all of them can be explored, but some cannot. They were just recorded as pieces of natural history, part of the Mexican heritage.
Deep in the Mexican territory, you'll find several caves and cavern systems waiting to tell their stories through nature. Fundamental pieces of natural history and part of the Mexican heritage. Our first stop is Cueva La Pintada, a cavern that preserves over 1,000-year-old paintings, featuring in fact some of the best cave paintings in the world. Follow into the impressive Crystals Cave, located 300 meters underground, enclosing enormous selenite crystals. Unfortunately, the cave is very dangerous for humans and can only be appreciated in film and photos. Heading to the biggest cave shaft in the world, the Cave of Swallows, reaching down to 512 meters deep and giving home to thousands of swallows and parakeets that fill every morning with their sound. Continuing to one of the largest cave systems in the world, Grutas de Cacahuamilpa, made up by 90 chambers surrounded by stalactites and stalagmites, where you'll come across two fascinating rivers. An impressive tour that can take up to 9 hours. Arriving to one of the largest underwater cave systems, Dos Ojos, which reaches a distance of 80 kilometers, where you may dive and explore the underwater cave world. Moving along to the Yucatan Peninsula, to the Loltun Caves, revealing over 1 kilometer of limestone formations, where you may encounter cave paintings, petroglyphs, and unique musical columns. Just beneath the jungles of the Yucatan Peninsula, one of the largest underwater cave systems in the world is found, Xvelha, with over 2,050 kilometers of subaquatic caverns and 56 cenotes.
Well, these are just some of the coolest caves you can visit and explore in Mexico. Mexico City is full of vibrant, trendy places to visit, from galleries to cafes to mixology bars and theaters. Some of its boroughs are well known for their eclectic style, fun nightlife and interesting museums, and that is exactly the case with the city's new hot borough, La Juárez. The Benito Juárez borough, often referred to simply as La Juárez, is ideally located inside a triangular area between Paseo de la Reforma, Eje 1 Poniente Bucareli, and Chapultepec Avenue. It is one of the most privileged boroughs due to its geographic location, connected to some of the most sought-out districts such as Roma, Centro, Bosque de Chapultepec. It also provides easy access to the Condesa and Del Valle districts. But what makes La Juárez so special? Well, this borough is filled with historic, eclectic, and elegant architecture. It has a charming artistic and contemporary flair and is home to numerous art galleries, museums, art shops, and boasts a cultural and vibrant lifestyle. The whole area is lined with houses with older styles of architecture and green areas, making it the perfect place to walk around or ride a bike. It is also the home of several major monuments, including the Angel of Independence, the Diana de Huntress Fountain, and the Glorieta de la Palma. Besides all of these and more attractive features, La Juárez has great shopping options, from eclectic and vintage clothing shops to known brand stores and Plaza Reforma 222, a shopping mall with many restaurants and art galleries and cinema. Moreover, there are great options for dining, having few drinks, or a fun night out with friends. Mexico is a country full of traditions and landscapes that will take your breath away. But there's also many places here that are less known, even to those who have already visited. Join me as I take you to 5 spots in Mexico, beautiful and hidden, that seem drawn from a movie.
Mexico's natural settings are as impressive as one can imagine. Some of them are hidden treasures only known by a few. Spectacular places that today we will share with you. So join us and encounter with nature's remarkable jewels in Mexico. Now let's begin our journey with the Marietta Islands, a group of islands near the coast of Nayarit, featuring gorgeous beaches filled with sea life creatures. Continuing on to Hierve el Agua, or Water Boils in English, in the state of Oaxaca. Spectacular, petrified waterfalls that rise above the valley, reaching a height between 12 and 30 meters. Next up are the captivating Agua Azul waterfalls in the state of Chiapas, a sequence of waterfalls colored in a shade of blue that contrasts perfectly with the green colors of the jungle. And deep in the jungles of Campeche, you will find the ancient Maya city Calakmul, one of the most powerful Maya settlements from the lowland region. And to finish up our journey comes one of Yucatan's deep hole water formations, the Cenote Zamula, a cavern-like cenote where the sunlight comes in from the open top and glistens over the water. Visit these and many more hidden treasures in Mexico and fascinate your senses.
These are just some of the very best hidden places in Mexico that you have to visit. Well, we're going to be back with more information on Mexico and the Riviera Maya after these brief commercials. Stay with us.